Time, cost, quality. They all sound great, but you only get to pick two. Stay tuned on this video as we talk a little bit more about the three factors you have to consider when putting your home on the market. Welcome back. Time, cost, quality. While you'd like to have all three, only two of these three are possible. You may want the selling process to be done quickly with the lowest cost and the highest quality. Who wouldn't? Let's take a look at this following graphic showing cost, time, and quality. The reality is the following. Cheap and quick means low quality. Fast and good means it will cost you more. And cheap and high quality will not get done quickly, if at all. Therefore, you must understand the results you want and the trade-offs involved. In many selling discussions, there is a focus on the cost component, primarily on the commission paid to the broker. In a competitive environment, sellers may feel an advantage to driving down the commission paid. You may not realize this, but as you drive this cost down, you will be sacrificing either time or quality, and that may cost you much more than the perceived savings in commission. So to help you understand better what characteristics each component may entail as it pertains to real estate, we'll define this in more detail. So let's first start off with some cost considerations. You're looking to sell your home. What are some of the things you're going to need to do in order to prepare the home, sell the home, and take the home to settlement? There's home sale preparation. There's going to be maintenance you want to do, some repairs you want to get done. You may want to do some painting, new carpeting, do some cleaning. Maybe you want to change out some fixtures. Maybe you're going to do some staging. It's very important to have that home looking good. And maybe some rooms could use some improvements in what furniture you have in there. Or maybe you're swapping out some furniture. Or maybe you have some rooms with no furniture and look better with have some in there. Maybe you want to do some landscaping. At least put some fresh mulch around. Update some of the flower bed. Make sure that everything is trimmed up properly. And then we have agent compensation. So we either have full service, limited service, or no service, which would be considered like for sale by owner. As a rule of thumb, here are some of the things you want to take into account. Okay, that between the commission, the municipal fees, the transfer taxes, and conveyance, the tax certifications, payoff fees, and any other local resale requirements, those components, as a rule of thumb, you can ballpark and say it's roughly 7.5% of the sale price. So you put all this together and say 7.5%, that's pretty much what the selling costs are going to be outside of what you may be done to prepare the home. Outside of all that would be any kind of repairs or credits that come up from any home inspections that may take place. So those are all the different cost things. So if you want to try to dial back on those costs, that's where people start addressing this. Maybe you don't want to do the staging. Maybe you don't want to pay full commission or the negotiated commission that the broker proposes. You're going to pay the transfer tax. You're going to pay some of the municipal things. They're not going to go away with that. But that's where people start, dialing back. Maybe they don't want to paint some rooms. Maybe they don't want to update some of the fixtures. And we'll get into later on how that may impact maybe what you could sell the house. Here are some of the quality considerations. The home sale preparation. How do I make this home look? Does it look fantastic from the buyer's perspective, or does it look kind of Or does it look like it's an estate and nobody's done any work to it? The agent effectiveness. What was their past performance? Do they get homes sold near the asking price? What is the ratio between what the actual settled price is and what they advertised the initial listing price? How did they preserve the value? Or were they quick to just give up the value and get any deal in just because they knew they were going to get paid something and they wanted to get the transaction done? Was it more important for them to get the transaction done quicker, or of a higher quality and higher price for you and a higher net profit for you? What kind of work are they doing on the market analysis? Do they know the current pulse of the market at the local level? What kind of marketing plan do they have in place? Do they have it defined? Do they have it written out? Do they lay out, here's what we're going to do for social media. Here's what we're going to do for the internet. Here's what we're going to do for open houses if you decide to have those. What kind of content is going to be developed? Are they going to take pictures on their iPhone and get it done quickly and low quality? Or are they going to bring in professionals that do professional photography, professional video, professional 3D, professional floor plans, professional drone? Or are they just going to wing it? What's the trade-offs? How's that content going to be distributed? Is there a plan in place on where this is going to get distributed across many different medium spectrums so that your home gets exposed to as many people as possible? What's the experience of the agent? What's the experience of them at this price point, in this location, with this type of home? Maybe with your type of scenario, maybe it's a little more complex. Maybe they need a little more attention to detail. What is their experience in doing that? How about the variety of transactions? Do they work with sellers? Do they work with buyers? Do they understand what the buying community is looking for? Do they understand the nature of your transaction? Is it a little more complicated? Do we have multiple parties? Do we have an estate? Maybe power of attorney? Maybe we have people in different parts of the country who own this property. What's their experience level with that? Another quality aspect is risk identification and mitigation. What are they doing to help you understand what could possibly go wrong in this transaction before it happened? What can we put in place in order to reduce the risk of something like that going wrong? What are some of the deficiencies your home may have? And here's a shock for you. All homes have some deficiency. Maybe it's not that apparent to the regular consumer, but a good agent should be able to identify what is going to be something that may be an objection to buyers, and what can we do to mitigate that objection and minimize that feature of the home and emphasize some of the positive elements of your home. What challenges or problems may arise? Get you ready for them. You know that there may be some challenges coming in the future. Wouldn't you like to have some advanced knowledge that here's what may come up and here's how we're going to address that? How do we avoid those maybe? Or how we manage those? What's their expertise in pricing? Do they just pull a number off of Zillow and then put that on another piece of paper and make it look as though they actually did some work? Or do they have detailed analysis of what's going on with your type of home, with that type of characteristics, with the upgrades that you've done to the home? What's their experience in protection of the client's interests? As agents, they are supposed to be fiduciaries, meaning that your interests should come above anybody else's interest, including that of the agent. How are they going to ensure that? Whose interests are they looking out for? What's their policy on dual agency? What if they have a buyer and they're representing you as the seller? Will they put that buyer off and give them to another agent so that your interests are being protected? Or will they tell you about the fact that if they bring the buyer, they can reduce the commission that you're going to have to pay, but maybe not exposing your home to the market and attracting the best price? How are they going to assure that fiduciary responsibility? What are their negotiation skills? How do they approach negotiation? It's negotiation at the agent level, and it's going to be negotiation at the client level. And how many deals do they actually get done? Do they have fall throughs because they have poor negotiation skills? Do they strive to get the best outcome for their client without jeopardizing the deal? How do they consult with you? How do they be able to talk with you and understand what it is that you're looking to do? Do they actually spend time in understanding your situation and your problems? Do they understand the objectives that need to be accomplished? What are the communication skills? What's your preferred mode of communicating? Is it text or email or phone or video? Or all three, or all four? They should be accommodating your preferred communication skills, not telling you how they're going to tell you how they're going to communicate to you. How they communicate to the marketplace. How they communicate to the buying community. How they communicate to the agent community. What's their reputation among the agents? In this business, the marketing is a key component of what every agent does. And we all know that in marketing, perception equals reality. But in reality, it really doesn't. And what you see of what people put out in their marketing may not actually reflect how they are and how they do business, how they are as human beings, because they're showing you what they want you to see, not all that they are. So try to make sure you understand that their marketing is just one element to them, and don't get bushwhacked by some of the marketing that goes on. So those are the quality components. What elements of those are you willing to sacrifice or trade off in adjusting whether or not you want to focus on cost, time, or quality? So determine what's going to be important to you. If all those things are important, then you know that somewhere along the line it will either take more time or cost you some more money. What are the time elements involved? Well, how quickly are you looking to move? Is this something really rapid? or is it something we have time to be able to put a plan in place? How quickly we'd like to get the home on the market? Are you ready to go, or does it look like we're going to do some prep work? If it looks like that home needs some time to maybe make it right, then if you rush it to market, you're not going to be able to make it right. And that may jeopardize how much you can get for the home. How quickly do you want the sale to be completed? Are you putting it out there in which you want a quick deal and get this done? Or are you going to need some time because you're working on where you're going to go? You're working on some other plan that has some timing elements to this. So do we have to make adjustments there? And is that going to affect maybe who may want to buy your house? How quickly can you implement the recommendations from the agent, from the stager, from the maintenance items? If there's a list of items that are believed can make the house present better, look better, price it better, sell it faster, do you have the time to be able to implement those? Are we going to be able to allocate that time? If we don't, there's going to be a trade-off somewhere in quality or price. Are there financial, legal, or process items involved? That may delay how quickly something can get done. We may have financial moving around of money that are going to be important. We may have situations where maybe we have a third party involved in the decision-making process. Maybe this is a short sale in which there isn't enough money to be able to pay off the loan, and we're going to have some agreement required by a lender on how this transaction is going to take place. Maybe we've got some legal elements need to take place where the home isn't titled properly to be sold, or we're in the middle of an estate process in which there's some paperwork that needs to get put in place to allow you to legally represent that property to be sold. What's the process pieces that we may want to look at? What's the timing? How we're going to put this all in place? That is going to affect how quickly all this can take place. And sometimes we have to make sure all of that is in order before we put the home on the market, because if it is not, the home goes on the market and goes under contract, there's potential for a delay for that settlement, and that settlement may not take place. Then you have a big problem. And you still have all the other pieces you have to put in place. So will rushing putting the home on the market impact the potential sales price? If we don't have our ducks in order, is that going to mean that the home is not going to be presented as good as it could be? And is that going to impact the sales price? You can put a listing price out there of something, of what you dream of, but if the home doesn't reflect that, it's going to sit on the market. Do you have the time to do some of the selling? If you want to go low quality as far as the services provided by your agent, then you're going to do some of that other work. You're going to do some of the work of getting the tax certifications. You may have to do some of the hosting of the open house, or the promoting the home on all your different Facebook channels. So do you have the time to do that? Do you have the time to do the legwork necessary in order to get the house to settlement? Are you going to be able to coordinate the tasks? You're going to coordinate the paperwork. There's a lot that goes with all of it. So looking back at this graphic, now that you understand some of these different components, you can now understand better what results do you want. Do you want something done quickly but of high quality? Then do you really want to skimp on what it may take, maybe money-wise, to make it right? Because in the end, you'll probably make more anyway, because the home will sell faster and probably for more money. Or do you want to do it quick and dirty and just throw it out there and get it quick? You'll probably get it sold, but probably for less than what you could have gotten sold. And that's your decision. But that's the trade-off. It will not be of high quality. And if you want something high quality and cheap, I will tell you that people that put high quality services out there in the marketplace, one, they don't usually do it cheaply, and two, if they have to do it cheaply, it clearly won't get high priority. The high priority ones are the people who pay, and so your work will get done, but it will not get done quickly. So I like to throw it out there and let you think about that when you're having these discussions. There's a lot of discussion we have when we're talking with clients and commissions and how it's going to cost. It's usually sometimes uncomfortable conversations, because we're talking about how much you think you're going to have to pay this amount of money to sell your house, and why do I have to do that, and what am I getting for that? And I think those are legitimate questions. On the same side, you're also asking people to take less money as income. And most people aren't asked by their boss, when they go to work, hey, today can you take 15% less what you're getting paid? We still want you to do the same amount of work, but we just don't want to pay you as much. Because that's kind of what is being asked when a seller asks for somebody to reduce their commission. Sensitive topics, but I hope you can understand as well the context of really what you're getting between time cost and quality. Have a great day. As always, shoot us your comments at the bottom. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and give us an idea of other types of content you'd like to see. Have a great day.